Hey everybody, welcome to Station 2. This is your project overview. This is kind of where you get a grasp on everything that is expected of you within this project. And then we're going to break it down into smaller pieces, but you'll see some examples here and I'll go over the requirements with you so that you know exactly what it is that you're being asked to do. The very first thing that I want us to look at today, I have some examples on the website. These are 3 infographics that my students last year did, and they did a really great job. I want you to notice that all of them look different. The information is organized and presented differently, but all of the main criteria are still present here. So you have a lot of choice in this assignment. You can do a lot of things your way, but there are still some requirements that are going to be met. So just looking at this, if you would please get out your infographic sheet that you should have picked up on the shelf on the Promethean board. Get that out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it looks like this infographic assignment. And we're going to kind of go through this looking at the infographics that are the example here. The very first thing you can see is that there is a title, a main title right here, here. And all of those are claims. That is the main topic of the infographic. Remember, we've looked at lots of argumentative text, and that claim is what the entire paper or what the entire graphic is trying to convince the audience of. Notice that these are statements. They are not questions or fragments. They could be whole sentences that you could input as the thesis or claim in an argumentative text. So I've got some examples. Vaping is bad for your health. The effect vaping has on your health. And Juul is dangerous. So these are all things that have to do with vaping being bad for your health. And so that is the research that has been put on the infographic. You can see that there are section headings on all of these. So it's really easy to see how the information is organized. I'm not trying to figure out where to look. There is a rhyme and reason to this. You can also see that there are a minimum of 4 graphics on each one of these infographics. And then there's also a chart or a graph that conveys information on here. If you check those out, and if you were to zoom in closer, you could see that it gives me factual information telling me what I'm looking at on that graph. It's a relevant graph that's going to support my claim. I'm going to have at least 10 facts on my infographic that support my claim directly. You want your information to be concise, directly to the point, but you want there to be enough information there for your audience to really get the point and understand the purpose there. You can see at the top of each one of my infographics here, there is a short paragraph that serves as the overview, the analysis, the overall summary of what it is that we're talking about. Think about that as like the introduction to your paper, basically, letting your audience know what this infographic is going to be about and giving them just kind of the broad spectrum of what it is that we're talking about here. Okay. I also want you to notice that there are colors on here. Now, there are different color schemes on each one of these. These students chose some more muted color schemes with some of the grays and black and some darker colors, but the color choice is yours. You get to choose the color. You need at least 3 colors on your page. It does need to be visually appealing, easy to read, easy to understand, easy to navigate. And that's a definite part of it. You can't see this very well because of how I have this proportion, but if you look here on the bottom of each one of the infographics, you can see that there's some small text. That small text is the works cited information. It is sources, because if I'm going to put credible research on here, I have to be able to tell my audience where it came from. I've written it in my own words. I don't want to plagiarize, so I have to cite those sources. That is really important. When you look on your infographic assignment page, you can see that I've explained the task on here as well. You can always rewatch this video, or you can just go back and you can look at this. The very first thing that I want you to do is I want you to develop your claim. We have come up with several claims in class, and you can use any of those claims, or you can come up with a new one if you get that approved by me in advance. Okay. Another thing that is important that I forgot on here, notice all of these students have their heading in the top right-hand corners. That way it's really easy for me to be able to see that and know that it belongs to you. Okay. On your handout, I've got some information about infographics. You're going to be going through stations today. You're going to get this information, but if you want to scan that QR code, it will take you back there as well. The next thing that I want to draw your attention to is your infographic rubric. Now, in the days to come, you're going to do a lot of self-evaluation. You're going to be working with this rubric, but you're going to spend the rest of your time in our station today going through the rubric piece by piece so that you know exactly how many points each part of the project is worth and exactly what my expectations are. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into this, like I said, in the coming days. But this is a definite resource that you need to be looking at so that you understand exactly what's being asked of you. We're also going to talk in the coming days about how to make an infographic. I'm suggesting Canva, but you have the power of choice for this project. So you can use Google Drawing, Google Slides, Pictograph. I had some people last year that used like Adobe Illustrator and some of those other programs that they had on personal computers. I am not restricting you to a certain method or website to create, but we are going to talk about how to use Canva. So if you have a Canva account, in the days to come, you're going to be able to explore that a little bit more. We're going to talk about choosing your design, choosing your template. In some of your other stations today, you're going to get to look at designs and templates. So you should be good to go on that. And then, of course, you've got another station today where you're going to work on planning out what is the information that you're actually putting on your infographic. So today, we're going to worry about those three things. Figuring out what is an infographic, looking at this project overview, and then starting a plan for your project. We are going to be working on this for the next week at least, and so you're going to get a lot more information. But for now, check out that rubric. Let me know if you have any questions.